Okay? You guys got nice vehicles. There's a couple schools of thought on whether you park in the guy's driveway or you park in the street. Okay? Some people say street. Myself, I own this fucking house. I'm parking in the driveway. Okay? But if I got an oil leak or anything like that, I'm not parking in the guy's driveway. Right? Because now I'm the dickhead that left the oil staying in his driveway. Okay? But when you get there, have all your shit done. Okay? If you were vaping or smoking and you're gonna sit in front of their house or in their driveway and you're washing your hands or you're finishing up a phone call or you're trying to write their name on the paperwork. Okay? No, 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 no. When you pull up to the house, get the fuck out of your car. If you're sitting there diddling around, like I said, and they're sitting there watching you, what the fuck is that guy doing? You're already giving them fuel for thinking you're some kind of weirdo. Why is he doing that? But if you pull up, get out of your car, go up, knock on the door. Knock on the door or ring the doorbell. Which one?
I'm more of a ring the doorbell.
Okay. Ring the doorbell? See, I'm a knocker. Dave's a knocker. We're knockers. Your friends, when they come over, do they knock on the door or they ring the doorbell?
Knock. Yeah.
Ding dong. Oh, fuck. Who's here? Right? Oh, that's probably my appointment.
Yeah.
Okay, knock on the door. Knock a couple times, step back so they can open the door. You can introduce yourself. Okay, if you have to. I'm not saying not to ring the doorbell.
Right.
You know, ring the doorbell if you have to. And I've had people say, you knock on the door and they go, oh, I got a doorbell. Oh, well, sorry, I just knocked. I'm a knocker. Sorry, folks. Obviously, take a step back, introduce yourself. Okay, this is what you would call a warm call. It's not a cold call. Okay, cold call is somebody picking up the phone and not knowing who the hell they're calling and trying to set an appointment. That's already been done. So now it's a warm call. They're expecting you. Okay, like Dave said, we're working on sending out emails or text messages, you know, stating who the guy is coming out to the house. Okay, so now the people are a little more comfortable. So when you show up, you know, hey, how are you? I'm Joe from Rock Solid Exteriors. How you doing, Mrs. Smith? You know, typically we'll have their first names. We go by first names. Okay, it's more personable. And then obviously, and this is where I ran into, hey, let me step in for a minute. And I was, you know, going through my little spiel, the warm-up process with the homeowner. And she was, you know, she was like, well, they told me you were going to come here, and once you got here, you were going to go out and start measuring. I'm pressed for time here, right? So she's already trying to push me. Okay? Do I have control of the situation if the customer's pushing me? Absolutely not. Okay, so I backed off a little bit. Still, you know, trying to explain to her because somebody's going to be, pushing me out, and they're going to be that, aggressive as far as the time frame they have. I want to know the time frame because if it's not a good time, I'm not going to fuck up a potential sale because a customer is trying to make me rush through a demonstration. I want to find out what they're doing, where they're going to go. As it turns out, she only had an hour. So, well, if it runs a little bit late, is that okay? Well, I mean, it can a little bit, but I don't want to, I got stuff I got to do. I got to go somewhere. Okay. I mean, be careful going, well, where you got to go? What do you have? You know, because that could be, well, it's none of your fucking business. Okay? But you got to dig a little. I mean, okay, this appointment, I mean, if it's a lunch date or something and you're a little bit late, sometimes when you throw something like that, they'll give you the information. Okay? But, again, try to step inside the house, set the parameters of what the appointment's about. Okay? Obviously, it's company policy. Somebody says, oh, no, don't worry, you don't have to take your shoes off. Look, I'm here to solve problems, not create them. I don't know what I may have stepped in earlier. If you're somebody that's not comfortable taking your shoes off, if you got that pair of socks that your big toes sticking out of, and you like them, they're your favorite socks, don't wear them to work, right? Or get some booties. You got them there. They're all over the place. You need booties, just ask us, we'll get them for you. And then obviously now you're going to start going into the process. Tell me 3 things about your roof. Tell me 3 things about your windows. Tell me 3 things about the gutters. Okay, why is this important? Because now they're telling you what's wrong. Okay, let them identify what their concerns are. Okay, because you're going to take those concerns and you're going to use them against them later on in the demonstration. Okay, or in the close, or creating that need. That's the first step in creating the need. Because your biggest job is going to be to identify that that customer needs to do something. If they don't need to do it, are they going to do anything today? Okay. On Saturday, okay, my second appointment was for a metal roof. I walked around the whole house. It was a monster. It was way up there. There's no way I was getting up there to do a complete inspection on it. You know, I did poke my head in the attic to make sure that everything was okay as far as baffles and insulation and those type of things. Okay, but the thing I really couldn't do with the guy is create the need. I asked him what's got you guys concerned about putting a roof on here? You know, and he's like, well, it's old. You know, we're looking at the metal roof. You know, he told me, oh yeah, we had a couple of metal roof estimates. So I already knew they were looking at big money. You know, and I mean, this thing was a castle anyway. You know, he told me that he was concerned just the age of the roof, granule loss, there was no leaks, you know, well, not to mention the roof looked like shit. So I went into, you know, well, at this point, you know, those are all signs that the roof needs to be replaced. You know, you're just a slight wind away from shingles blowing off and possibly creating a potential leak in the house. And if it's on that top turd in the back or on the side that you can't see the roof, you know, it's going to leak until it finally comes through the house and does damage. So at this point in time, you do realize that something needs to be done sooner rather than later on the roof. Yes. When I got in the close though, his biggest concern was 2 things. Okay. First of all, they had saved about 20 grand, right? So I took the finance angle. Okay. And this roof was, you know, it was a $40,000 roof I was showing the guy. He didn't have the other money. I'm not financing. I already, you know, where the guy was, he made money. When I found out what they actually did, they were just in healthcare. She was a healthcare provider, okay, not a nurse, but whatever tier down from a nurse that women can be, right? You know, she did that. So, okay, so she probably made, you know, 40 some grand a year. He was a doctor, a medical assistant. Not sure what that really consisted of. Okay. I'm sure with the 2 combined, they made pretty good money. Okay, both of them being in the medical field. However, you know, there's still that gray area. You know, are those people living in their means? Or are they? I mean, it looked like they were doing okay. They had a nice vehicle. They had a camper out back. You know, the buying signs were all there. However, at the end of the day, the guy still had, he's like, well, I've got other things that I'm paying off, and I am not taking on another financing charge. He says, I don't care if it's $20 a month, I'm not doing it. Okay? I'm saving the rest of the money. We've got things to attack that, and we'll cover that. However, at the end of the day, I wasn't able to create enough urgency to do it now. Well, it's not leaking. Well, it's gonna be. There's no telling when it's gonna go bad. It's not a matter of if you need a roof, it's when. And when is now. You don't want to change the oil in a car after the engine blows, do you? Okay, you want to do it beforehand. And regardless of what I said, the guy was set in his ways. He wasn't going to finance, because at that point, by the time I discounted down, all he needed to finance was like 13 grand, and I was showing him a payment of like $140 a month. You know, and let him know. The financing is open-ended. That's on a 10-year term. How long is it going to take you to save that 13 grand that you had? Oh, well, it's going to take me probably another 6 to 8 months. Well, instead of trying to save the money, let's get it done now. Save the money that I'm showing you, and you know, you can make those payments. You know, you could pay that off with the money that you'd be saving anyway. Just wouldn't budge. So Like Dave said, you can't sell them all. But it's important to get those 3 things, asking that question. Tell me 3 things about your project. Then obviously letting them know, hey, we're going to go out and measure. I'll sit down at the kitchen table. You know, I like to always tell people, hey, my visit here is somewhat educational. What I'd like to do is take the time to show you some of the differences in the products that are available, so that if and when you get ready to do something, at least you have my price, and that's what you're looking for, right? Yep, absolutely. Okay. Again, not coming out and saying, hey, I'm gonna shut you down, I'm gonna lock you down, I'm gonna close you. Because when I get into it, you know, I always tell the people, you know, if they mention something like that, I'm like, really, you expected me to go through all this and not ask you for your business? Of course I'm going to ask you for your business. I'd be a fool not to.
Right.
And then they realize, well, yeah, you're right. And then if I show them a discount, they, well, now you're just doing it. You know, I'm able to justify my discounts and let them know that, hey, this money is coming from advertising. You know, I'm taking some of our advertising dollars and putting it towards your job to get this done. You know, not some, you know, they'll come in, and I can't tell you how many times, and I'm sure Dave's got a million of them too. Oh, look at that, Hanson's came in here, and the guy started out at 40 grand. By the time he was leaving, he was down to 15. That's crazy stuff. No, what that is a guy not justifying his prices, okay? And we've got techniques to show you guys how to justify. Where is that money coming from? You're not just pulling it out of your ass, right? You're not just a wheeler or dealer. They have to do things in order to get those discounts. Okay, so it's a real thing. And then obviously you're going to want to get in the attic. And then at that point, once you've walked around and you've done your measures and you put your numbers together, obviously you're going to grab your samples, get in the house. First one there, what does it say on the pitch? Builds a need. Okay, you have to build a need. If they don't think they need to do something, they're probably not going to. Okay, the want. Okay, you want to do something. Your house is ready to be. Your house is leaking. It's gonna be leaking. So you do want to get this done, don't you? Well, absolutely. Okay, if they don't want to do it. Okay, and want's a lot harder to build than need. Okay, that's why you need to incorporate the need to make it a want. Right? You don't want your house falling apart around you, do you? So you want to get this done?
Yeah, preventative maintenance.
Absolutely. You know, going through the pitch and everything, and what it basically does is it eliminates all those objections. Oh, I need to do research. Oh, I need to think about it. Oh, I don't really need to do it. Okay, the pitch is designed to eliminate those objections so that when you get in there, there's a small handful. You know, I got to get 3 estimates. I never do anything on the first day. You know, I need to think about it. Well, we'll teach you how to funnel that into price. So it eliminates objections. Also separates yourself from the competition. You know, again, being behind Hanson's. Oh, and I never finished my story. We get in there and then people talk about, oh, Hanson's came in there, discount, yet you walk out with a deal. And you talk to any of my customers, they'll tell you Joe gave me a good deal. Oh yeah, Joe, he gave me a great deal. They might not like me. Okay, but I gave him a good deal. So you have to follow the formula. Separating yourself from the competition. Guys, by the time we're done and we go in the house, even though those people have had multiple estimates, you're going to hear over and over again what a great job you did. Oh, the last guy didn't do this. Wow, you guys are really educational. You're really doing, you know, you guys did a great job. Okay, we teach you. You will be separating yourself from the competition. From the guy that does come in with a clipboard with his hoodie on and a ladder on his truck. Right? Giving them that estimate. Getting into the closed, like we said, you're going to funnel the objections into price. Everything just goes into price. So I got to get 3 estimates. You know, I'm at 15 grand. If I could do this for 10, it'd be a no-brainer, wouldn't it? Well, yeah. So the only reason you're really getting estimates is to make sure the dollars make sense and you're getting the best price for what you're looking for, the best bang for your buck, right? Well, yeah. Okay. So you know, you have to make that customer realize that the reason they're delaying their decision or they need the 3 estimates or they need to think about it. And what they need to do is they need to think about that overall price, and that's really what it boils down to, is just that overall price. Because when you can make sense to the customer, that's when a deal happens. Okay. In other words, what you're doing is when you're in the house is you're creating value. Value, 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 value. If you do a shitty job and the value's down here and your price is up here, you're probably not going to make a sale. Okay, when does that sale occur? First of all, there's no magic formula. There's nothing that you can do to follow it to make you, pump out, 80 to 90% closing rates. There's nothing out there. Why? Because everybody's different, and not to mention you're different as well. But when you can take that value, and here's the price, when that value is here and the price is here, that's normally when a sale's made. Okay, because man, Joe gave me a great deal. He came in, he gave me a good deal. All Hanson's did was drop their pants. Oh, that's not good enough, let me do this one, let me do this one. Like the used car salesman, that keeps going back to his manager, right? So it's important to create the urgency, justify, like I said, justifying the discount. And then the pack is getting it to price. Getting an amount out of the customer, okay? How much? What were you expecting this job to cost? Then obviously a close, and then the keep, okay? If you just go out there and sell jobs, and you don't know how to keep them, you're going to have cancel after cancel after cancel. There's most jobs that cancel are usually a third party kill. Okay, in other words, the guy goes into work the next day.
Talks to somebody.
Yeah.
My brother does roofs.
Well, I just spent 15 grand on a roof. And then Jim goes, what? I've been over your house. Man, that's nuts. I just put a roof on my house 2 years ago. I only paid 8 grand. So now what you have to do is you have to coach that customer through that. Nobody's ever going to congratulate you for selling, for spending money. Obviously, you've made a wise decision on a higher end roof.
Carl's gonna have to do his roof again in 15 years. That's another 8 grand. So now he pays more than your 15.
Okay, you got to coach them through it. Slow them down so that they don't do it. There's a few other little tricks we'll show you guys. Just a matter of putting, So now that everything's signed, sealed, delivered, just to clarify everything, what was your favorite part of the roof that I showed you? Was it the shingle? Yeah, I like the shingle. Write shingle down on the envelope. Okay, you put that on the lip of the envelope so that if they ever go up to cancel and they open the lip of the folder, they see all the reasons that they decided to make that purchase. Now, here's the thing. Do we know if that works?
You guys know.
Do we know if that works?
Not 100%.
Nobody does. But if you do that,
Reassure them.
how many I maybe stopped over the years because they wake up, maybe they got a little buyer's remorse. Sometimes that's why people cancel. Oh, fuck, I can't believe we did that. That sumbitch, he talked us right into this. Made it sound too good to be true. Now that I slept on it, oh man, I'm going to cancel. So they pull it out, pull their paperwork, and then they see all the reasons why they chose that. And they start thinking of that again. Well, that's fuck. This is good. This is right. Does it work? I don't know. I don't have a ton of cancels. I know that. When I sell a deal, usually it's good. I still get them. If you're not getting cancels, you're not doing your job.
Can we go back to that cancel job?
Absolutely. Do whatever you have to do to save it. You got to knock $1,000 off to save the deal. You're going to make $500 instead of $1,000. What would you do? Yeah, go knock $1,000 off and still make $500. Hell yeah. And we'll show you guys how to do that too. It's not, again, there's no science to it. There's no, but there are things that want to say versus not want to say, for sure. Okay. Grab those
This?
in the copy machine there. And then there's some on the back that went through.
Oh, God, yeah.
Now, this was written out because this is something that try and see if this helps having a script or doesn't it help having a script to be able to look at. So basically when you get in the house, we have the company story. This portion of it, guys, is going to be the same regardless of what you're showing the customers. Okay? One of the things I like to do before I show customers this page, I don't put my computer down, but I'm not to it yet. I'll ask them, part of my warm-up is finding out if the customer's done any other kind of work. And I usually do this when I'm walking around the house with the homeowner. You know, and then when I sit down at this point in time, prior to going to my computer, the first thing I need to do is I need to go over the survey. Grab roof survey. It's in the middle, at the top. Oh, no, down. Right there. Joe, did you get their apps? There are 3 of them. Yeah, Dave, they're in that bin. Yep, that front one right there, yep. Was that theirs? Okay. First of all, when you go to them and you tell me 3 things about your roof, you're going to hand them this questionnaire and you're going to ask them to fill out the top half only. Okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to go, and when you come in the house and you sit down, okay, you're going to have what's called a digital analysis on the roof. So in other words, you're taking pictures of the flashing, that's bad. The pipe boot, that's bad. The shingles that are missing. A close-up of the shingles, showing them all the cracks and all the missing granules. Okay? You know, is there exposed nails? Is there nail pops? Is there bed? You know, is the deck doing this? Okay, you're going to want to identify all these things. So you're going to go through this, folks. On a scale of 1 to 10, how important is curb appeal to you? How important is protection for your home? How important is ventilation? You know, would you like a strong guarantee? Is insulation important? What about the value? Is value important and is price important? Okay. Now, you got to make sure that they're not filling out this bottom half because you're going to take this and you're going to set it aside. Now you're going to go through your digital analysis and you're going to talk about all the things that were wrong with their house. Okay. Note. You're going to have things that are called commitments. Right? Commitments in big words. Because commitments, if you don't have the commitments, when you're going into the close, guys, you don't have shit. Okay. Your very first commitment out of the customer, after you do the survey and you showed them the need, after looking at this project, this roof has to be done sooner. With all the problems that you have, this roof has to be done sooner rather than later. Wouldn't you agree? Now, I gave you guys that scenario on Saturday. What wasn't I able to create? Even though the guy told me he realized his roof was old. There still wasn't an urgency. I can wait. I can do it when my money's been saved up. Okay? It's hard to create urgency if you don't go up on the roof. But I'm sorry, I'm not walking on a, let me see if I got a, and we don't expect you guys to climb on this type of roof either. But if you can get on the roof, it's always a step in your behalf to get on the roof. Okay? Because if I was able to, pop up here, baby. Look, it's such a fucking big house. Everything else is loaded with that one. There. Okay. We don't expect you guys to crawl around on roofs like that to identify somebody's problems, but if you can, Anthony, that younger guy that's in here, that motherfucker will crawl on anything. He don't even give a shit. He goes all over it. Okay. However, we're not gonna knock you guys if you don't go up. One thing you have to that you can do on a house like that, if you guys are driving trucks and you got a bigger ladder, you can always put that extension ladder up there and take pictures from the gutter. Okay. As you can see, I have a car. I have a little 16-foot ladder. It'll get me on any ranch and any colonial where I can hop up on the garage and then pull my ladder up and then hop up on the next section. But on a house like this, I mean, there's nowhere for my ladder. I could have set it up over on the garage side, maybe walked up a 12-12. No, not doing it. Okay. And again, guys, we're not on something like this. We're not going to expect you. This is where a drone would come in, right? Look at that drone, and hell yeah. If you look over there, does it say win a drone? Yeah, right next to the other wheel on the left-hand side.
I was going to ask that. If we could just fly a drone in, take pictures.
Hell yeah.
Prefer you to get on there.
So, identifying the need, okay? That question I just gave you is a commitment. Looking at all the problems that you have on your roof, you would agree this is something that needs to be done sooner rather than later. Or this is something you have to take care of sooner than later, wouldn't you agree? Yes, I'd agree. So once I've identified all their problems, I always like to ask, well, obviously you said you've done some projects around here. Is there anything in particular you look for in a contractor? Okay. You don't have to do this. I like to do it because again, anything I can get that customer telling me that they want, that they're looking for, is a benefit to me. Well, hey, I want somebody who's been in business. I want somebody with a good Better Business Bureau record. I want somebody that shows up on time. Well, I already showed up on time. I want somebody to do what they say and say what they do, right? Whatever that customer could possibly want out of us, or out of a contractor, we're going to have. License and insurance, yeah, got that. Place of business, yeah, we got that. Longevity, yeah, we got that. We got everything. But I like to ask them that question and have them. And sometimes I got to feed them a little bit.
Yep.
Was license and insurance important? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I want license and insurance. Well, how about a good record at Better Business? Oh, yeah, I want that too. Sometimes I have to feed them a little bit. Okay, great. So this is us here at Rock Solid. Okay, from our roots and renovations, we've put something together that's different from other contractors. Okay, where we used to do storm damage and would have to travel where storms were, we would help homeowners get their homes put back in order after a storm. Okay, over time the owner put together quality products with the true warranties, and because of this we decided to stay in the metro area and offer our products and services to everyone. Okay, as you heard, I said renovations. This is Rock Solid. We were built solid. Okay, this may show up. I would rather talk about it now than have it show up and then try to explain it. Right? Anytime you have to go back and try to explain anything, okay, means you missed something, number one. And number two, if I can nip it in the bud, the other appointment I had on Saturday, the lady kept trying to cut me off and asking me questions. Right? I don't have time for this. Asking me all kinds of questions. You know what? Let me finish this, and if you have any questions when we're done, I'll be glad to answer them. Chances are I might answer a few of the questions as I'm here. Okay.